slowly starting to hit home, yeah. The sleep's been a hard thing, You're just running on empty pretty much the whole time. But yeah, it's slowly getting there.
It's been more than a week since Cyclone Gabrielle hit this valley in New Zealand's Hawke's Bay region.
We're just trying to get as much stuff out as we could, Just trying to salvage what we can inside the house, there's not much you can really get out of this.
Max and his father Hector were asleep when the flood arrived in the early hours of the morning.
Woke up, and it was about just over ankle deep in my room. So then I ran down and got Dad up. Then rang my uncle next door and told him to get his stuff together. I was swimming back to the house. The plan was to get in the truck and get out of here, but at that stage the water was above the windscreens.
Max's father and their dog sought shelter next door where Max's uncle lives. His uncle shot this video as they waited out the storm on the second floor. Meanwhile, Max was at his other neighbour's house where they ended up on the roof for hours.
Just as we were getting on the roof, heard a lady come past screaming. Had no idea where she was or what happened. As soon as we got some form of light, I managed to see her hands holding on to something. Once the water was at a, at least I thought I could get in there and help her. I swam across and got her. She was 70. She was like blue. So I took my clothes off and just got her as warm as possible and then just wrapped her up.
So this is a big pipeline of red, intense, heavy tropical rain.
Tropical Cyclone Gabrielle was one of the worst storms to hit New Zealand in living memory. The east coast of the North Island was the worst hit, with the beachside city of Napier recording its second wettest day since records began in the 1950s.
2023 has the potential to be a very difficult year for many Kiwis.
Prime Minister Chris Hipkins has said the clean-up bill is likely to be in the billions. There's hundreds of kilometres of state highway to be repaired, and some communities are still isolated. Firefighters, including an Australian crew, are now methodically combing through properties where people are unaccounted for.
Having lived in Hastings all of my life, I've never seen anything like it. The wind was terrifying. And not being able to get out of my driveway in the early hours of the morning to sign state of emergency. We had to climb over trees, and it was huge.
So this is the hallway, I suppose.
A week on, the scenes inside Max's house are astonishing.
So it was up to here, and this is quite a high roof house as well, high ceiling.
There's more than a metre of silt and mud beneath our feet. You still sink into it in some spots.
This is a little self-contained unit in here for my dad. He uses his lounge and stuff, and through there's his bedroom and his bathroom. Now this is my new back door.
Welcome to our home.
Thank you.
Come on through. This is the entry.
Down the road, somehow the flood hasn't destroyed Ra Cooper's warm hospitality.
So obviously your heart feels like it's ripped out, looking at the condition it is now.
Ra, her fiancé Maggie and their dog were rescued by a neighbour.
Because I'd run out of energy to try and swim out. Ben saved our lives. We couldn't have ever done it on our own. Right up to there.
And the same inside?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I said, if you think of it, and me, I was a goner. He floated us across on the blue settee and pushed us over on his roof, and another guy pulled us over the back bench to safety. How fortunate was that?
Oh my
That
gosh.
was awesome.
Here you can see some signs of progress. Destroyed belongings and mud have been cleared out of people's homes, and some houses are starting to look a little bit like they might have before the flood. But you only have to go about 1 kilometre down the road, and where do you even start? The future of some of these communities is now very uncertain.
We know what's happening with the impacts, climate change, and we have to adapt. We have to find other ways. We have started 3 years ago a Hastings Place housing plan where people will live in urban areas and away from some of our most vulnerable areas of waterways, of the ocean. And it's a big, hard question for our communities to grapple with, but it's a conversation we need to have.
Despite it all, Max Robertson wants to rebuild if he can.
I'd probably still live here. I'd still build here. People probably say I'm crazy, but you know, this house survived the earthquake, bowler. It's a freak storm.
While complete strangers are helping her clean up her home, Ra Cooper provides an incredible positivity that keeps everyone going.
We're quite humbled by the community support, but our house is repairable and we're still together with Rusty, our dog, and that's amazing.